so.
It was you.
Nuh-uh.
So, we were getting lumber for the frames, and Ruth was like, we really need 4x6s for the bow. I was like, Ruth, that's kind of ridiculous. Like, 4x6 is a little overkill. And she's like, no, like, what if we hit a whale? We need them. And I was like, fine. And so now I have to install.
You know, Garrett, you're absolutely right. I should listen to you more, like, all the time.
She's starting to see the light.
So today we're working on the intermediate frames that go in between our regular frames to help support up all the backing of the top side planking. And it goes into the chine there. This was idea number 1, just cutting out a notch and doing them that way. And they're all 2x6. And then this was idea number 2, to kind of reduce that notch that was cut out, which can be a weak point when you're cutting into the wood. So this way it's using 2 pieces, be a lot stronger. But then new ideas. Idea number 3 for the intermediates and the final winner. A compromise, instead of using 4x6, he still kind of gets his 4-inch wide and fairly thick piece without being too overkill and ridiculous. So this here, that's my shopping list that Garrett so nicely wrote out for me on a offcut of wood. People at the hardware store laughed at me, but got 110 nuts, 110 washers, 44 3-inch bolts, and 66 4.5-inch bolts, and they are for the intermediates. With a few of them glued up, and that's my task today.
So, I'm going to put 2 of them together where I want them. And then I'm going to grab these little feet. I'm going to get that on where I want it. And then I'm going to drill for all the bolts. And stick the bolts through. Make sure it's all lined up. So that way I can just take the bolts out, pass them to you. You'll put epoxy on it. And then all the holes will be pre-aligned, so you just put bolts through it. And we don't need clamps or anything. Alright, I'm going to go start the gym.
Okay. I'll mix epoxy.
Whee!
Put preservative on the back, and then tarred where it meets up with the planking, and then also where it meets down here with the for the chine. The whole port side is done, and ready to keep planking. Swab. Swab. Hey, get out of there. Swab. Hey. Swab. Swab, there's nothing under there. Come on. Out. He really thinks there's something under there. Alright, so she's all lightly sanded up and taped off. ready for her new coat of sexy red paint.
Blow it off real quick.
It's like a red just rocket.
Wow. That was interesting.
Look at this incinerator shed.
I'm gonna wash my hands.
It took about 10 passes through the planer, give or take, for each board. Our neighbor who let us use his sawmill is now lending us his planer for the rest of our planking stock. We'd set the planer and after each pass decreased the width small increments at a time until we were roughly 1.5 inches thick. Rough sawn, full dimensional 2x7s is what we started with. And after going through the planer and then shaking the sawdust off the top, we ended with beautifully planed, smooth pieces, really showing off the fantastic grain, vertical and flat sawn. Gorgeous. We had 11 boards our first day of planing, and after our second supply run, we had 9 more to do, hopefully having enough material now to finish planking the boat out.
Alright, so I think our work here is done. Managed to put sawdust everywhere. But also managed to plane down the rest of our new planking material. Some really pretty pieces. Yeah. What you got on you, Swab? Fun day up today. We've got more planking to plane. It's starting to really feel like summer, so it's been a lot easier to get things done, sunny, you know, dressing down to where it's more appropriate. Definitely makes us crave the water a little bit more when it's sunny like this. Just kind of want to lay up on deck and do nothing and just soak up some sun. But yeah, another work day. Here we go. Working on the video. Oh no, he moved. Thanks, Mom. You helping me? Kind of. Just staring at me. Well, he was laying on this book with his nose all pushed up like this, and it was really funny. But he moved, so it's not so funny anymore. Such a spoiled dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna take there's a couple pieces that are kind of like half vertical grain, half flat sawn.
Up next, we make more big decisions, get the engine in the boat, and finish planking the top sides to move on to deck beams and bottom planking.
I'll probably use that one for the middle run.
I'd like to take the time while you're watching us put up another plank to say thank you for being patient and kind throughout the planking process. We put the sheer plank up February 11th, thus starting a 3-month process, taking us to tomorrow, May 26th, getting the last chine plank on. We really appreciate all the motivation you've given us to keep going. Just knowing there are people out there who watch us and don't think we're just two crazy kids building an impossible task, but send thoughts of hope and excitement, it's awesome, because it is exciting. But take this boat nerd's words with a grain of salt, because it's also hard, but I'm having a blast. And thanks everybody for watching.
Alright, so here's the... Ow! Clamps come out of nowhere. Some of the old stock left to finish run 8. So maybe I'll finish 8. And then after that, pretty much.